The images online just don't do this shoe justice. Let's talk about it. Yo, this is Ben from Lease Expert. Today I have a review of the Ambush Dunk High in the black colorway. Now, Ambush is a Japanese street brand that started off primarily focusing on jewelry, and as of 2019, they started doing footwear collaborations with Nike and Converse, and as of the end of 2020, these dropped. Ambush was created by two people, first being Yoon, who is the current jewelry designer at Dear Own, and the second person is her husband, Verbal, who is a musical artist that's part of Teriyaki Boys, as well as a Japanese hip-hop group called M-Flow. So Ambush is known for the loud and out there designs. So for example, in 2010, they dropped a very popular pouch chain that was worn and popularized by Big Sean, and it's also featured in his Finally Famous album cover. Now, they take their designs and it directly translates into this shoe right here. So this shoe is inspired by Japanese bike and car culture, and this shoe is given an elongated and heightened form with the swooshes extending past the heel, just like the bike exhaust pipes. So before we dive into the details of this sneaker, let's talk about what you can expect when you purchase this pair. So it comes in this standard black Nike pull-out box that's typically reserved for collaborations. And within this box, there's actually no accessories. And I'm actually okay with that because I feel like these black laces complement this colorway perfectly. Talking about the materials, what we have here is this soft tumble leather all throughout, and it just creases so easily, so it just gives it that high quality feel to it. And in my opinion, this is probably the best leather of any sneaker that dropped in 2020. So kind of in sneakerhead terms, I would say this is the same level of quality as the Shatter Backboard 1.0s. So yeah, I think pretty highly of this leather. So even though this shoe is primarily leather, we also have these rubber accents. So we have this exaggerated swoosh that extends out past that heel. And it's actually pretty soft. So there's actually some give and some wiggle to the ends of the swoosh. So I wouldn't be too concerned of this swoosh piece breaking off, because through normal wear, if you really want to break this swoosh, I'm sure you can. Now this rubber compound is also found on this heel, where you have this protruding out rubber piece that has the Ambush logo printed on it. And it kind of reminds me of the recent Sacai and Undercover Nike collabs that also have this extended heel design. And then moving on to the laces, what we have here are wax black laces. And it's a nice touch because it keeps consistent with this premium feel of the sneaker. And moving on to the tongue, what we have here is just this exposed foam, which really just has become an industry standard at this point. It's really reminiscent of that off-white exposed foam design. On the inside of the shoe, we have this white nylon mesh sock liner, which I prefer over a leather sock liner because leather sock liners are much more difficult to put on and take off. And lastly, what we have is this rubber Dunk sole and midsole, and it's kind of nothing special there. Moving on to the tech, what we have here is no tech. This silhouette is actually a performance basketball sneaker from the 1980s, and surprisingly didn't feature any Nike technology like Air back in the day. But in case there's any confusion, this is the regular Dunk silhouette. There's also a Dunk SB silhouette that was created in the early 2000s for skateboarding, and that silhouette features Zoom Air within it. So that shoe has a little tech, whereas this doesn't have any. In case you're wondering about the comfort of the shoe, this shoe offers an Orthlite insole that is pretty common with Nike sneakers now, and I would give it a very average comfort level. So these won't be uncomfortable, yet they're not gonna be super comfortable of a shoe. Moving on to fit, these shoes fit true to size. And if you haven't tried on a pair of Dunks, I really don't blame you guys. Dunks nowadays are super hard to cop, definitely because of the whole Dunk hype that's going on right now. But I would say this shoe is pretty comparable to the Air Jordan 1 high. So if you have that pair, I would go with whatever size you are in that. And if you have the chance, I suggest you try on a pair of Dunks. Hopefully later in 2021, Dunks will become more readily available. So either try that or the Air Jordan 1, and then I would stick with that size. Now talking about the price, this retailed for $180. And at first I didn't really understand why they were priced so high, and it really wasn't until I got these in hand where I really understood, okay, you're getting premium materials for the shoe, you're also getting a creative mind of Ambush and their out there design. And also considering that nowadays Jordan 1s sell for $170 retail for just average to below average materials, I think 180 is a pretty reasonable price. So for the resale, as of February 2021, these resell for about $600 to $700 for a men's size. And for the women's sizes, which equates to a men's size 4 to 6.5, these easily sell for more than $1,000. So I actually thought these shoes were going to be a women's shoes, really based off of Nike's press release that features you wearing these alongside a women's Nike Ambush NBA clothing collection. And so I think this shoe was marketed towards the women's crowd, and that's why the resale is so high for the women's shoe, because there's probably less quantity out there and there's definitely more hype within the women's community. And what's strange about the resale is in December of 2020, when these first came out, the resale was only $400 to $500 for a men's size, and I can only see that resale going up from here. And the reason is because there's actually 3 more colorways slated to release for 2021. There's going to be a pink cosmic fuchsia colorway that's dropping first in February, and then later down the line there's going to be a Chicago inspired colorway, as well as a deep royal colorway, which is the Chicago colorway but with blue. So with this Ambush Dunk silhouette getting more exposure through all these different colorways, I could foresee people going back and looking for these, and by that time, I would imagine that these prices would have gone up. Now for my final thoughts, I love these. These are my favorite pickup of 2020. For me, I really wasn't trying to get caught up in the Dunk hype. With Dunk prices being at an all-time high, it was just hard for me to justify those high resale prices, because Dunks were a shoe that I used to wear as a teenager, and I would beat them up and then find a new pair on sale. And so it was just hard for me to justify these insane prices. So I was really just waiting for a Dunk to really wow me, for me to kind of buy in. And luckily these came out, and I think these are great. And what these actually remind me of is the Fragment Air Jordan 3 that also released in 2020. I actually created a video of why I sold those, so check that video out. But I actually sold those and I decided to keep these because the design was so similar. It's a very simplistic black and white design that really goes with any outfit. Considering both shoes share so many similar aspects, I ultimately decided to keep these. I don't think I made a mistake. So let me know what you think of this shoe. Is this the best shoe that released in 2020? Is this the best Dunk that recently released? Let me know. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. I respond to every comment, so don't be shy. Please remember to like and subscribe. My goal is to hit 100 subs by the end of this month, hopefully. And I want to also thank all my current subs. Until next time, take care. This could actually be a weapon.